Hello, and welcome to episode 97 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about the latest Nintendo news and rumors, as well as a celebration of all things Nintendo. My name is Kevin, and joining me this week for some Nintendo Therapy is Harrison. How you doing, Harrison?
Good, good. We said Sean would be here, and we tried our best. Um,
Yeah,
so,
its sound just wasn't coming through. I don't know. I wish I could troubleshoot computers better, but we'll figure it out in the in between week and get them on eventually.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, welcome back, listeners. I'm gonna turn my sound down. I'm a little bit loud here. Welcome back if you're joining us on YouTube or any podcast platform, and I look forward to talking Nintendo with you this week. So.
Yeah, and you know what's been on my mind this week for Nintendo? I've seen a few people posting about it. Is GameCube had an anniversary this week? I mean, so did the Wii U, but we've talked a lot about the Wii U. Uh, GameCube was released November 18th, 2001. So 23 years old this week. And the thing on my mind about GameCube was the color scheme, that purple. It always reminded me of like the Super Nintendo, like the power reset purple switches. Like, why do you think Nintendo's abandoned the purple?
Just they're just less colors. I think. I think
Yeah,
everything is just more neutral and more trying
black or white.
trying to fit one thing. It's like where I live. Like every car where I live is white, black, or gray. You almost never see a car that's like red or blue or like yellow, anything that's a bright color because it's too hard to resell, I guess. Or
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. You don't really get pulled over too much here, so I don't think that's the reason. But um, yeah, but I say that. I don't know. I mean, when I think Nintendo Switch, I'll always think of the neon red and blue, like that's like the Switch color when I think of it. How about same with you?
Yeah. Um the the I remember when I got my Switch, I got the last one that had the red and blue. You know how like the day it came out, there was the red and blue, and then there was the solid black, I think was the other one. And I specifically pre-ordered the red and blue one, and was there in line. They were handing them out. I got the last one, which is good because I pre-ordered it for that color, but people make mistakes. So luckily, I got the right colors.
Yeah, I don't understand why, like, how like the inventory would work. Like why we don't have 20 colors of Switch stocks,
Mm.
or like just like different just variants, especially with the amount of like people that like our age that are collectors that have just like too much extra money, I guess. From what I
Maybe it'd
see
have
on.
some sell more Joy Cons that way. They just figure, you can. I don't know. I'm not a
Right,
sales guy.
or or make the Joy Cons like a lot more different colors too. But yeah,
Oh, you're
I don't
saying
know.
the Switch itself? You think there should be more colors,
I think so.
like the screen? Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, I think so, and I think there should be like tons more variants of the Switch Lite. Like think of the Game Boy
Hmm.
Color. Think of like the 3DS. Well, just think of that whole line: XL, 2DS,
Swappable
everything.
cases. The swappable cases would be something they could sell. I mean, I don't know what goes into that, but seems like something that would be cool. Switch
Yeah,
2, put it on
yeah,
there.
yeah. Because like I've always thought that the Mario dock is the coolest looking one. And I
Hmm.
and I have the white one. And when that first came out, like I thought that was really cool. It's just like a cool like minimal aesthetic. I've never switched my Joy Cons from when I originally got my OLED. I just like wear I just wear them out so much, but like I use the magic eraser on them. They're not going to be like perfectly white anymore. I'm not gross or anything. It just like after a while, like it just is not the same
Yeah,
color.
it's wear and
It's like
tear. I was
it's
looking at
like off
the
white.
I was looking at the joystick on one of my Joy Cons the other day, and it's completely worn down. Like, I might be posting a picture of it this week. It's insane how worn down the joystick on one of my Joy Cons is.
Mine's gone. I might have
Yeah,
it
it's
here.
just wear and tear.
I don't know if it comes through. Mine, yeah, it's pretty bad. Mine
There
is
you go.
complete. I just took it off completely, and I should replace it. But again, like if the Switch 2 is coming out in 6 months, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's the same. It doesn't look good, but it's the same. Yeah, it doesn't look so great, but it's all the same. So yeah, yeah. I often wonder why we don't have all different like the GameCube, like the Game Boy era. We had so many different kinds of those. Um,
mm.
yeah, so many different
Yeah.
kinds.
It should just be like phone cases now. Like everybody likes to customize their phone case. Get more like Snap-on case design things going.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's one. I think there's one for the Black Friday sale, but there's not very many of them. And I don't think
Oh,
does mine
speaking
have.
of Black Friday,
Yeah.
that was one thing I wanted to ask you. Did you swoop up any Black Friday deals? Because I'll get ahead and say I just spent the last of my birthday money. My birthday's all the way back in May, and I've had Nintendo money since then. Just finally spent the last of it. The last $40 I got. The GTA, the Grand Theft Auto trilogy is on there for $30, which is half off. And then Chrono Cross is only 7.99. So I got 4 games for what is that? $40 basically, and spent that $40. I have like $3 left on my account. Did you get any of the deals?
How many times have you bought Chrono Cross?
That's the first.
That's the first time. Okay.
My that was one of the games that a friend of mine, a friend that Sean and I went to school with growing up, he was huge into it, and I used to watch him play, but I never had my own copy. But I know of the game from like watching him play, and I probably had a file on his memory card or something back then. You know how that went. But like when it's at a friend's house and it's a giant JRPG, you don't get far. But I know enough to know I like it, and I'm glad it's finally accessible on a new console.
I have
And it's
not gotten
7.99. You can't beat that.
I have not gotten anything. Um, but I'll probably pick up the most controversial game of the last few years, Hogwarts Legacy, because it's 70% off right now, and I want to play it. Like 70% off. I never
That's
thought
a
it
high
would be.
percentage.
I never thought it would be that cheap. Like the deluxe, like the DLC version, like the $70
Hmm.
version is like $21. So, and I have like 2 weeks, so I think I'm just gonna pick it up at some point. But I don't even know if I'll download it right away because I still gotta like play through Yakuza. Um, I think tomorrow I'm just gonna like because like Yakuza, I have to like I have to like be I can't like be doing other things. I have to be like listening and doing like just doing that. I need to like make sure I'm just in a good setting so I can finally start up that game tomorrow. It's been like 2 weeks and nothing.
Hmm.
So that's my plan. Yeah, yeah, probably Howard's Legacy, and then I'm gonna use my points on some like they have like all these like 95% off games right now. Um, some like family games that I might pick up that are like that I get for free with points and just uh just have those. That's my plan. It's already started. It's like eventually Black Friday is just going to be Halloween at some point. I mean, it's like earlier every year. Like Black Friday's on Thanksgiving at this point.
Yeah, and it's funny because
For
nobody uses it. Started as a Christmas shopping thing, and like nobody's using it for Christmas shopping. They're all buying things for themselves. Like that's what Black Friday is, a chance to get a deal on something you want for yourself.
I think it's a chance to just go out and do something for a lot of
Yeah.
people. There are some pretty crazy deals out there. You do like save money, but like it just became like an event. Because again, like we both worked retail, like there was certainly nothing ever in the stores that I worked in where it was worth being there at 8 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Like there was just
No,
nothing. There's just nothing that was worth that. So,
no, not at all.
um, I think it's a mix of things. Uh, yeah, I don't have a good transition. I wanted to quickly talk about um, what Nintendo games got on the Game of the Year nominations. Um,
Go
it's
ahead.
fun to talk about every year. I don't like Game of the Year that I don't like Game Awards that much, as along with all award shows, but I'll get into that.
Yeah,
The
I pay
one
almost no attention to it. That's why I'm letting you take the reins on this one.
Yeah, and it'll kind of come through as I talk through it. But basically, what I can tell you is, as far as first party games go, Echoes of Wisdom got nominated for Best Action Adventure and Best Family Game. Um, Princess Peach got nominated for Best Family Game. Mario Party Jamboree got nominated for Best Family Game, and there's something else. Best Multiplayer, Best Multiplayer as well. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket got nominated for Best Mobile Game, despite it only
Been
being
out
a
like
couple
2
months
weeks.
old. Yeah, yeah. The the amount of downloads, the amount of money that's made so far,
Mm.
is it's definitely it's I don't think it's gonna win because it's like a month old. But it's cool that it's on there.
Yeah, it's
And
we don't even have all the features yet.
yeah, oh yeah, we're not even close. We're early access. Um,
Yeah.
and that is it. That's pretty much it. Like, there's games like Balatro on Switch, which, no surprise, it's the token. There's always an indie that gets in the Game of the Year category, and no surprise, it's Balatro. We could have all predicted that. Four of the five indie games of the year are on Switch, which is awesome. Plucky Squire, Neva, Lorelei, and the Laser
Plucky Squire
Eyes.
Plucky Squire has a Black Friday sale on it's on sale on Switch right now. I think it was like $22. It was a weird number. And it's also, if you have PlayStation Plus like I do, it's on the premium subscription. So you could, if you have that, I know people say hate when you say like it's free because you pay for the
Right,
service, but it's on the service if you have it.
right. I watched the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight for free. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, I misspoke. Plucky Squire is for best indie debut game. Um,
Okay.
the four that are on Switch are Neva, Balatro, Animal Well, Lorelei, and Laser Eyes. The one that's missing is UFO 50, which is like one of my top indie games I'm hoping comes to Switch because it's just a collection of 50 games that are mostly like retro inspired. Perfect Switch title. Like just a perfect Switch title. So um, I'm an indie guy. It's been a superb year for indies on the Switch, including some ones that are coming out like just this month that I'm pretty excited about. That's pretty much it. Like there's other categories like sports, community support, innovation, and accessibility, but pretty much every year the Nintendo category is family game. It's like they made family game because they're like we have to oh yeah, Nintendo exists. Like it can't be all of these like I don't know, all these other
It is its own
JRPG action
art
games.
form, though. Like when Nintendo shows you how good they are whenever somebody else tries making a family game, and you're like, even when they're really good, you're like, yeah, but it's just missing that little extra something that Nintendo has, you know?
I didn't write down what was the other one, but yeah, I mean it's Princess Peach, Showtime, Mario Party Jamboree, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Plucky Squire, and then some other game. So four of the five are available on the Switch, and I guess those are all family games. Yeah, Princess Peaches, Mario
Mhm.
Party, Zelda. Okay, okay, and it's also in the action adventure category, which is fair. Um, so that's it. My predictions. Something from Kojima, something from Rockstar Games, um, and nothing from Nintendo. And I will only be watching it if there's nothing else going on that day, which is there's probably something on. So I probably won't be watching it. Is what I'm trying to say. Um,
Yeah.
how about you? How about you? Or we move on?
Yeah, well, we've been teasing on here for a few weeks now, me talking about Mario and Luigi Brothership, because I got it day one and then didn't play it for like 2 weeks. But I've played it now, and I do have thoughts. It's not a 5 out of 10 IGN. If we want to weigh in on that controversy, that was an absurdly low score. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I haven't played the whole game yet, so I don't know what I'll walk away with, but I've played enough to know it's not a 5 out of 10. Okay, it's not that buggy or slow, or you have fun when you're playing it. Like it's not something where you're like, this is mid. Like it's got a lot of charm. I love that it's an RPG, so when your characters are leveling up, it's represented by a Mario flagpole, which I'm like, how did we have this many Mario
Hmm.
RPGs and never do that before? That's such a cool idea. And there's the characters are so animated. There's so many like little it's almost like Luigi's Mansion, how they have a lot of like pre-recorded like bits that and animations and stuff that will pop in. Um I think the complaint they had about the load time, I'd like to know how old that reviewer was, because I feel like it might be a generational thing. I don't think I would have even noticed the load times if they weren't pointed out. Like it's kind of standard for like older RPGs that when you enter a random battle, or they're not random in this case actually, it's like Super Mario RPG where you can see them on the field. But anyway, when you enter a battle, there's a little bit of a load screen, but it's not bad. Like it's not like I've ever been playing him and like, come on, load. Like it's no, it's the same amount of time every time, and it's just a transition screen. It's you bumped into the enemy, you see the screen, you start the fight. Like it's that simple. Um, and I think that might be too much for some people, but especially if you play older like PlayStation era RPGs, you're not even going to notice it. Um, and like load times for entering new areas, I don't know. I've seen longer load times on the Switch. I'll tell you that. Like sometimes the load times in Animal Crossing New Horizons get to me. They're longer than these load times. So that wasn't an issue for me. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about how much of it's about like timing, because if this game came out like on the GameCube, it would have been an instant classic. But because it's releasing today, we have so many like indie games that are in this style, or like there's so much other competition out there that there didn't used to be, that it's I think that's what led to that IGN review. But it's a great game. I'm glad I bought it. Definitely one I'm gonna replay. I already know that. Um and oh, one other thing I want to talk about. So I posted about this online this week is I've always talked about how I'm not a fan of PlayStation trophies. I prefer when the game gives you like an in-game reward for accomplishing something. And Luigi's Mansion 3 had this thing where in the menu there was like a checklist, and it was sort of like an optional trophy system. This has the same type of thing. They're like stamps, and when you get them, you also get rewarded in the game. So they have different accomplishments, and it is absolutely the things you would get a PlayStation trophy for. It's like do a time attack 50 times, or like you know it's all like rewarding you for how you play the game. So it's all PlayStation. It's all PlayStation trophy type things. Um but when you do them, you don't just get a trophy, it gives you like an in-game reward, like you get a one-up mushroom or something for doing it.
Animal Crossing
Uh
has something a bit similar to that.
what's that?
Yeah. Well, Animal Crossing has. I mean, it's been so long since I played it, but like they have like some kind of in-game achievement where it's like if you get like
Oh, the Nook
50,
things. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not,
exactly.
but maybe it's like points. Maybe it's not like that achievement or something. But yeah, I
No,
was
but
playing.
that's along the same line. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was playing something a game recently where it's like where it was like walk into the room achievement. And I was like I really don't like those. like I really don't like the ones where it's like they're just giving you achievements for like
Yeah.
you turned on the game. Like
Yeah,
you get a
if it's
trophy.
something that's especially at the beginning of games too, like something where literally it's something you have to do, and it's within the first 5 minutes of playing the game. Like I get what you're doing. You're trying to get that dopamine hit started early so I start chasing it, but um we don't need trophies for, like you said, like you made it out of the first room, like things like that. Um anyway, yeah, it's a great game. As far as like my overall rating, I don't know. I spent a lot of time playing. There was this beach volleyball game where you had to hit it back and forth 100 times, and I get stubborn in games, and I'm like, well, I'm not going any further in this game until I until I hit this volleyball back 100 times. So that took me like 3 hours. It's very reminiscent of there's a moon in Mario Odyssey where you have to play the beach volleyball. It's very much like that. But I did it, and now I'm moving on with the game. And I think just in summation, it's a good example of a game that maybe is like a 7 out of 10 on paper, but you'd still recommend everyone who's into Mario should play it. Like you're like, hey, look, this is not a 10 out of 10. This is not going to make your greatest games of all time list. This is not going to change your life, but it's worth playing for sure. So, um, yeah, you're going to see some problems, but the good outweighs them. So yeah, that's what I've seen so far in it, and yeah, I like it. There's a lot of Mario RPG in there, which is a plus for
Mm.
me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and we're gonna be seeing more sooner than later. I'm sure is our
Hmm.
prediction. Uh, yeah. I think again, I said last week. I think IGN is milking it a little bit too much,
Yeah,
but that just
yeah,
might be me seeing their social media too much, and it gets shared around. Like I think IGN sometimes participates in bad practices, but perhaps they just have different opinions on games altogether. So that that is that. Um, yeah.
It has
Uh,
a 8.2 user score right now on Metacritic.
it's going
So
up. Yeah,
yeah,
it's going.
it's people are liking it.
There is not one Mario Luigi or like Mario RPG game that's rated poorly. Um,
Mhm.
there's like some 7 and 8s, but like there's not one that's ranked like badly at all. So
I
so
think all art
yeah.
is like that though. There's a lot of like movies where you're like, "Hey, this isn't the best movie I've ever seen, but I still recommend people see it." There's definitely albums where you're like, "Hey, this isn't this band's best album, but I think you should listen to it." You know? It's one of the, it's a weird thing to describe, and I think that's what this game is. It's not perfect. It's not game of the year, but I'm having a good time with it.
That's how I felt a lot about a lot of games from 2024. 2024 might just be like the solid game year where like
Yeah.
I don't get like there was no games that got into my top 10 all time. Um, like sometimes you gotta like pump the brakes on that a little bit. Like
Yeah,
something
not
I've been thinking
everything's
of.
gonna be Breath of the Wild. Like, I
Yeah,
remember playing Breath of the Wild for the first time and right away knowing, like, there was something special going on here.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. Something I've been thinking about, and this can be like our brief Switch 2 discussion this week, is that like I just think with the way journalism is, with the way media is, with the attention spans, the lack of that we have now, I think the Switch 2 is just like there is there's going to be people that like are not going to be satisfied with it no matter what happens. Like, let's face it, um, the Switch has been so successful that the Switch 2 could sell 50% of the Switch's hardware and still be considered a massive success.
Massive success. Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, and
but the
there's already people turning on the Switch too, because you remember when we got those leaks that looked like a 3D printer model? There were already people commenting like, "That's it," and it's like, what are you expecting? Are you expecting this thing to be like something out of Back to the Future Part 2? Like, it's gonna look like a video game console.
Yeah, so I think like my expectation is that it's going to be like a solid upgraded system that is not going to sell as well as the Switch because the Switch is going to be the best-selling console of all time. And
Mhm.
and we also had a pandemic during that lifespan as well. So I think there's going to be plenty of people, journalists included, that are going to look at the sales, and if it's not as good as a Switch, which I'm like 99% sure it's not going to be, they're going to say it's a failure because it didn't sell as well as the previous one. Um, and that's just going to be ridiculous. Um, Because yeah, I mean, if it sold 100 million units, it would be a massive success, and that would be like half of the install. That would be like half of what the Switch sold. So,
Mhm.
um, my what time are we at? My last part today. I want to talk about because there was a couple of games that I didn't talk about last week that released on Switch, and maybe this week. I'm not sure. But I'll go through them quickly and I'll say the games that were released and then the next game of the franchise that I think is going to come up. Okay. So I got I got Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remake of Yakuza 1. I totally forgot Yakuza 1 and 2 were on the Wii U. You know that? I totally forgot about that. Um, my prediction
Yeah, the Wii
next,
U's a distant memory at this point.
and I think they got the original. I don't think even think they got the remake.
I
Um,
think you're right. Yeah.
my prediction is Kwami 2, which is easy prediction, and then pretty much the entire series on the next console. Um, we got Mario Luigi Brothership. We also got Thousand Year Door, Mario RPG. My prediction, Super Paper Mario. That's my prediction for next one that's going to be ported. Super Paper Mario is my next
The
prediction.
next what that's going to be ported on just the next Switch port
The, the
period?
the the next Mario RPG. So I'm gonna put like the Mario
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Luigi, Paper Mario, the RPG category. My next one I'm predicting
They
because we
might
got
slow
Thousand Year
down.
Door.
They might slow down on the Mario RPGs, but I do agree that they're not done. I just think there might be a bigger gap than what we were seeing there, where it was like Mario RPG and then Paper Mario and then Brothership, and it was like boom, boom, boom. Um, so there might be, it might be 6 months before we hear about it, or even a year. But I definitely agree that Super Paper Mario is coming.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying soon, but I'm saying
Hmm.
I think it's the next one. Um,
Yep.
I did not talk about we got Lego Horizon Adventures, which is just unique because it's PlayStation, of course. Don't know much about this game. Haven't seen that
Oh,
many
hey, Mario.
reviews. Don't know how much it's going to be. Don't know how well it's selling. What Mario? What Mario
My
Pant?
pajama pants are
Mario
Mario.
pajama pants.
It's Mario
Okay.
Kart. Mario Kart. I was trying to get it on the camera and I couldn't because it's backwards.
It's
I didn't even realize I was wearing them.
it's showing up for me. It
All
shows
right.
up. It shows up normal for the audience.
Okay.
Um, I think we could see Horizon Forbidden West on Switch, which is also Sony. I don't have a good prediction for this one. More Sony games, perhaps. That would be unique. We did not talk about. We got the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. Horrible title. Horrible game title, but a game that I really want to play. Um, we got remakes of 1 and 2 confirmed already, so that's next. Uh,
Mhm.
My Sims Cozy Bundle came out. It's released now. I put release soon, but it's released now. Could we see smaller My Sims games like the games from the Game Boy DS era, like My Sims Party, My Sims Agent?
I think the DS floodgates are about to open as soon as we get the Switch 2. And it might be stuff that they also release on the Switch, but I think Nintendo's ready to tap that well and start just giving us like, Dark Moon, Luigi's Mansion 2 was just the beginning. We're going to start getting a ton of it.
DS, 3DS. I think so
Yeah.
too. Tetris Forever was released. It's selling. Seems like it's selling pretty well. I really want to play it. I really want to play it for some reason. I just in a Tetris mood, I guess. Next, not sure. And last one, I'll cheat on this last one. Is Stray is released on Switch. The the performance reviews I've seen look pretty good, which is surprising. I thought this game was going to be horrible on the system. They figured it out, I must say. So if anyone's looking to play this game and you only have Switch, I might play it. I might pick it up. Like I won't pick it up because I have it already, but it is a fantastic. It was one of the best indie games of last year. It's fantastic. So with that, I just think in the next system we're going to get lots of indie games that we might not have been able to get because of the performance of the Switch, like Pacific Drive, games like that, like just games that would not handle on a Switch, but I know they would love to have the install base. Okay. Um, are there any other games that have been released that I didn't talk about? Because there's been kind of a lot in the past few weeks. I just wanted to make sure I kind of touched on it. It's like Dragon Quest I want to play, Tetris I want to get at some point on sale, I guess. Yeah. How about you?
Actually released, you touched on everything I can think of. They did announce that Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic is going to be coming out
That's
next
right.
month,
That's right.
and that's one that I'm kind of excited for. I don't know if you played that back in the day, but I played a ton of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Mm-hmm. I did. I huh. Why? I don't know the history of, that series. Is there a new one? Is there a new one?
I don't know. I only played the original, and
I
that's
only
the
played
one
the
that's coming
original one.
out. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I only played the original. Yeah, yeah. That will be cool. So it's coming out. It's coming out digitally, or it's coming out.
I
It's
actually have
it.
it right here. I don't know if they say if it's physical or not.
It's
It
being
just says
released
on
separately.
Nintendo Switch. It doesn't say eShop.
Maybe it'll be like a
Oh
limited
no,
run
yeah,
or
right
something.
here. Can get their hands on the game via the Nintendo eShop for $25. Thursday, December 5th.
Wow,
There you go.
$25 is a lot. But okay.
Yeah, but you know that I feel like a lot of times with stuff like this, they have baked into the base price that they're like, this game is going to constantly be on sale. I can totally see this being a game that's on sale every time there's a sale. So it's
Yeah,
like we'll start it at 25 so we can get our 15 or our $12 when it goes on sale.
I hear you. I hear you. So I mean, I I think I could close it by saying that I think at least I'll remember 2024 as like uh, a really great year for Nintendo, but kind of a weird year also. You know, it's like probably like I'll be looking back on it as the transition year because I'm assuming this will be the final Switch year, and be like, oh yeah, that final year, like we had some like really good games. Like again, like no Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, but we had Echoes
Mhm.
of Wisdom, we had Mario and Luigi, we had all
I
these.
know exactly what you're saying. I had this thought just today is that it sounds like it's starting to sound like unless we start hearing some stuff about the Switch 2, 2025 is going to be the slow year that everyone was telling us 2024 was going to be. Because Nintendo's got like nothing announced right now. We've got
Mm,
a Donkey Kong game that's being released for the third time and another Wii U game coming to the Switch, and that's it.
I'm not so sure about that. Because we thought 2024 was going to be slow, and everything that was released in 2024 that we were excited about was announced in 2024. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
so I don't know because because you could tell me either way, and I would believe you. You know, I think 3D Mario is coming in 2025, and if so, it's not going to be a slow year. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not. It is not going to be a slow year if we get Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever it's going to be called. It's not going to be called Mario Odyssey 2. It's going to be a different. It's going to be something different. Do you think so? New system, new
Yeah.
title.
Yeah.
I
I
think
know
so.
I've brought this up before, but the coolest idea I saw that they're not going to do, but I saw one that was like it was like a fan concept of like Mario Worlds or something. I don't remember what they called it, but it was basically like Mario jumping through all the other Nintendo franchises, and I'm like that would be so cool. They'll never do it, but it was such a cool idea.
That was like my favorite concept of Mario Odyssey was them using like 2D and
Mhm.
2.5D so much in that game. It's just so innovative, like the way they pull those things off. So yeah, it'll be big. It'll be great. I'm gonna predict that 2025 is a huge year for Nintendo. Do we have a movie
Yeah, if we
coming out?
finally get that Switch too. Hmm?
Yeah, yeah. We have new hardware. Do we have a movie coming out? I'm not sure, but I
I
think
don't know.
but I don't. Honestly, after Echoes of Wisdom, I'm like, don't predict and just like everything that you can assume can just be like thrown out because like Echoes of
Yeah.
Wisdom just completely threw me off guard this year.
Well,
Did
right
not.
away, everyone's still assuming the Switch 2 is coming out in March, and I'm like, I hope so, but I could totally see them announcing it in March because all they've confirmed is that they will announce it by March. That's all they've confirmed. So I could totally see them announcing in March that it's coming out Christmas 2025. Not saying it's going to happen, but it could.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see summer or September.
Yeah.
I could be talked
I
into.
could see the opposite too. I could see them announcing, "Hey, this is coming out in 6 weeks." But you never know.
Yeah, but being quiet through the holiday season, I guess we shouldn't be surprised about that. Uh, it kind of does seem like some of the some of the things they've released have seemed like trolling at some points, like the alarm clock, the music app, things like that kind of seem like trolling sometimes. So,
Yeah.
um, anyways, I hear people coming to work on my house. So how about we do this spotlight game because we started late and
Um
or
Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe we could hold the spotlight till next week, and maybe Sean can give his thoughts just because
right.
we've had so many problems this week. It's going to
It's
be a shorter
Castlevania.
episode, but yeah, Castlevania. Yep, and he is the Castlevania guy. So hopefully he can get his stuff sorted out and be on next week and give his thoughts on that.
Sounds good. That is everything that I wanted to say. That's
Perfect.
everything.
All right, well, everybody who listened, thank you very much. Anyone who was watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. And let us know what you thought of the show. Follow us on all the socials. We're on Blue Sky now, like all the cool kids. Go on over and see us there. We've been climbing in followers there faster than anywhere else. I think they have a really good system for finding what you're interested in on Blue Sky.
Wow.
Um, uh, yeah, not saying we're doing crazy well on there, but like I don't know. I feel like we stalled on Twitter, and I'm
Triple
actually seeing people
digits,
follow us. Yeah,
high double
not yet.
digits, high
No, yeah,
doubles.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah. It sounds stupid when I say it out loud now. How few followers we have, but you can go add to that. So go add to that. And other than that, we'll be back next week, like we are every week. We'll see you next week.